My mother left me and my sister. We were 7 and 9 at the time, stranded at my father's new apartment building. He had just moved in there, and the building was huge. We couldn't find him, had no way to get in touch with him. She just left us with a trash bag full of our stuff. We spent the weekend in my dad's tow truck, which he luckily left unlocked. He found us in his truck Monday morning when he was headed to work. My sister was the fucking boss and held us down. Well, I took my jet ski out in the Gulf of Mexico, hit a wave the wrong way and got knocked off. Kill switch. Didn't pull out. Jet ski went zooming off into the distance. I tried to swim to it for half an hour before I realized a current was pulling us apart. Treaded water for hours thinking I was going to get eaten by sharks or drowned. Cried like a bitch. As it turned out, it started to get dark, and I got swooped up by Coast Guard patrol that wasn't even looking for me. Was visiting friends who were still in college in another city about 2.5 hours away. It was winter and snowing. When I was driving home at about 7 that night, I hit a patch of ice and slid off the road. I couldn't get my car out of the ditch, so I called my parents, not knowing what to do. They calmed me down and told me to call a tow truck. Tow truck pulled me out, and I drove off. I decided to pull off at the nearest rest stop and call my parents back, to tell them everything was okay. After the phone call, I couldn't get my car started. The rest stop was one of those that only had toilets. There were no cars. There was no one around. It was just me. 8 p.m. on a Sunday night in the middle of a winter storm in the middle of nowhere, and it was snowing. I called my parents back asking for help. My dad and I come up with a plan to call my friends and ask them to come get me. He said I could stay over at their place for the night, and my dad would come get me the next morning. He would then go and look at my car and help me get it home. Cool, right? Well, while waiting for my friends to come get me, my mom starts sending me text messages about how I was a horrible and selfish person for bothering them with my car problems. I apparently ruined their weekend, and that I am too much of a problem for the two of them. So yeah, fun times.